already in studio, and apparently he likes the song here from Holly 10.
Yeah, 10. I'm texting bright teacher like bang, my D. He texting me back like what's happening, my D. Seko, my D. Seko, soko, seko, sengo, my D. These days utambira coupe. Cash talk my wambi patao. These days as romira mush. Graduate rawandis account. Doyacho zedi utapusi. Doyacho, pack to the grind over pressure. Pack to the mind over metal. Pack that to mukira town uchifamba uchiradza udwageza. Pack to the Jesu apa, amen. Pack to the chemins, pack to the patience. Imagines, I wonder the mirror. To anybody still informed too, everything you learn is not true. If anything you learn is no proof, then everything you learn is no use. Sha, tese takadzidza neshash, tese takadzika neshash. Padaza, sichazi ratanga ngopisa. Tese tikabvisa mabacha rasta pamba pano shuga yakapera apana chandibvunza kwandaswera ndichangoti wangu pane njuga dzandapeta izvo pana kuleva ndasecha mangwana ndakamuka.
Alright, so I've never really listened to the song, but it's deep. Holy 10 there with one called Ndaremerwa, and it happens to be my guest favorite artist, right? Holy 10 is doing amazingly well. And hoping that all is well wherever you are. Now, speaking of my guest, I did say that earlier on I will be hosting a super talented young man. He's already in studio with me. So remember, you can also join in the conversation. Get in touch with us on 0719100404. That's my number. It is Capitalk 100.4 FM Harare's Heartbeat, and we come to you live from 102 Simon Mazorodze. Now, Julia Gillard once said that our future growth relies on competitiveness and innovation skills, as well as productivity, and these in turn rely on the education of our people. I think with the likes of Trueman Mabumbo, the future looks absolutely bright. Now, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, Regional Office for Southern Africa, ROSA, in partnership with Zimbabwe's Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education and the Zimbabwe Schools Examination Council, ZIMSEC, launched what they call a WhatsApp-based educational application called Dzidzo Paden on Monday, the 23rd of November, 2020. And it is the brainchild of one Trueman Mabumbo, and I'm honored, I'm excited to have him in the studio. He's become like, the superstar. People are talking about him. How are you doing, Trueman?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing absolutely well. Thank you so much. Welcome to Capitalk 100.4 FM.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's great to see you. I think you seem to be the talk of town, but before we talk about what has made you so popular, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I'm an 18-year-old currently studying Law 6 at St. George's College. I play basketball, I do debates, and I just love music.
You love music?
Yes.
Wow. I want to know, your Law 6 combination, what are you doing?
I'm doing math, physics, and chemistry.
Math, physics, and chemistry. Why that particular combination there?
Okay, I want to do electronics and robotics in university, so I thought math and physics were kind of just, compulsory for me to do that, and then chem was just, that additional subject.
Interesting indeed. Now let's talk about the reason you're here, Dzidzo Paden. Tell us a bit about that. How did that concept come about, and how did it come to fruition?
Definitely. So I think it was around May. We had been in multiple lockdowns, and then I saw a picture on WhatsApp that was circulating of this other girl who was, in a raw setting, and she was holding 2 water containers. And then the caption was, we are not against online learning, but what about us? So that just prompted me to just think of something, because I was learning online from school, Google Classroom, Google Meet. But seeing that picture just gave me that, there are some people out there who are not even learning, that's when I started thinking of, solutions. And then I came across WhatsApp, and I thought, hey, there are about 5.2 million users of WhatsApp in Zimbabwe, according to TechZim, and it would be a suitable alternative for some learners out there.
So this is how this idea came about. But I think a lot of people would be comfortable with, this goodie, it doesn't affect me, so why even think about doing this? But I mean, this is you thinking, you know what, this is an idea that could actually help someone out there. Tell me, how does this work? How does it work, this application?
Okay, so this is an automated chatbot. So basically, it's a program that's based on WhatsApp. You send a message. So for users, you just send hi. So what it does is it replies you instantly. Once it replies instantly, it gives you a menu of whether you choose whether you're grade 7, Form 4, Upper 6. But it's simply clicking the links, and then it puts a message down on the message bar, and then you just send that. So basically, it's you sending a message, getting the response, and choosing where you want to be. If you want notes for grade 7s, there's that, and for Form 4s and Upper 6s too. All
right, so many people have brilliant ideas, but they're sitting on those ideas. You come up with this concept. How then did you then link up with UNESCO to launch this for you?
Okay, so before I even went to UNESCO, I joined this other competition called Task, Top Flight Arts and Science Conference that was started by Dr. Tamuka. And I think through that competition, I received that affirmation that this is actually a good idea. So when I realized that I didn't have enough money to just kickstart the whole thing, that's when I started just looking for organizations who could help me. I started writing a lot of emails. It was a long process, but then I'm glad that, when I finally sent an email to UNESCO, they just jumped on the idea and decided to help me. But I really just approached a lot of organizations in the hope that just one of them could help me.
All right. So your family finding out about this concept, how did they take it? Did they support you all the way, or they were thinking, nah, it's not gonna? It is when someone comes up with a concept or a new innovation, people are a bit skeptical about it. How is family?
I think my family is a bit different in that sense because, props to my parents. They're always supporting me in each and everything that I do, and this was no different. And then also my brothers, Owen, Morton, and Armstrong, they're always there. I give them something. They just give that constructive criticism. They don't say your idea is bad. They just say, okay, it's a good idea, but here's how you can do it better. And I think their constructive criticism actually helped a lot in seeing this to fruition.
All right, so is this your first brilliant idea that has come to pass, or you have done other things?
I think the only other thing that I've really ever done that I'm proud of is this other campaign that we had last year, 1,000 Books campaign for children at St. Joseph's Primary School in Shawasha. But I would say this is the biggest idea that has come to fruition that I've had so far.
All right, so everyone at school is talking about you. Your video, we saw it. It went viral. People are going crazy about this new platform that you have just launched here. But I'd want to know as well from you, where do you see yourself in as far as innovations are concerned? What next? What do you want to do next?
Of course, I'm very passionate about agriculture. It's something that I really want to pursue. And one of the things that I really believe in is that the future of our food security solely lies in our smallholder farmers because they constitute the majority of the arable land in Zimbabwe. So in as much as, ideas and what I see going forward, I think I'll invest much of my time into agriculture and particularly helping smallholder farmers in Zimbabwe to just, produce more, because I think with their numbers, we can actually do a lot, just equipping them with technology and these kind of ideas.
I'm looking at you in amazement. I'm thinking, at your age, I wasn't even thinking about half the things you're talking about and half the things that you're thinking about. But I am impressed that you're thinking that big. And the future for Zimbabwe is in safe hands with people like you. Congratulations on the launch of this big thing. I think for Zimbabwe, it's huge. Dzidzo Paden, look it up if you haven't heard about him already. He is the talk of town right now, and he was just telling us the inspiration behind it. So, from school, after you launched this, what was the response from a fellow schoolmate?
They were super excited. I think most of my friends were just, rallying behind me, saying that, this is something that's cool. But I think the most important thing was I wanted people to just forward the message around, find out people who actually need the platform. And I think the whole school was just, supporting me. They were forwarding the flyers around, and they even decided to do that video. That support was absolutely amazing.
And the response, how has it been from fellow students that couldn't afford, to do online schooling? How was the response?
Definitely. So we launched it before the official launch, and then on the launch we had a couple of students who were there, and we were just giving a bit of testimonies as to how the system is helping them. But even my young brother, who's in grade 7 in Marondera, is even using the platform, and they're finding the resources very helpful. We really hope to get more resources into the system, because right now we just have 2 content providers. But from the resources that we have right now, a lot of people are just coming and saying, these resources are actually amazing.
How long did it take you to come up with the concept and then have it finished and all that? How long did it take?
The concept, I had it in May, around Africa Day. And then we started working on it in July and launched it in October, was it? Yeah, October. So, yeah, roughly those months.
Did you have any challenges maybe that you might have faced as you were coming up with this concept? Any sticky issues that came through?
Well, besides not having access to adequate financial resources, I mean, UNESCO dealt with that. But I think from the Facebook end, registering a chatbot really takes a lot of time. So they need to see that your organization is quite solid, and we hadn't registered Dzidzo Paden. So I think that's the main challenge that we faced. But then at least now it's registered, and we can flight it on WhatsApp.
All right. So what platforms are you using really to push this?
We are particularly using ZBC, and we're also flighting it on multiple radio stations. I'm not sure which ones, but usually around news time, 8 o'clock news time on ZBC, we have an advert that runs, and then we're just hoping that people send in their groups. But we also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, but we're really just forwarding it on ZBC and some radio stations.
Interesting. 26 minutes before 2 o'clock. If you just joined us, it is Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat. I am in the studio with the brainchild, the young man behind Dzidzo Paden. I wonder, at 18, what were you thinking of? This young man has just been talking about things I never really thought about. At his age, Sauranese, improving the food security in Zimbabwe, and the plans that he has to ensure that he makes a change in the country. Now, the United Nations, as I said, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO Regional Office for Southern Africa, ROSA, in partnership with Zimbabwe's Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education and the Zimbabwe School Examination Councils, ZIMSEC, launched what they call a WhatsApp-based educational application, Dzidzo Paden, on 23 November 2020. And the brainchild of this is Trueman Mabumbo, who is in front of me right now, and we are speaking about how he came up with it and what he's doing to ensure that he makes a change. Now, Trueman, maybe you would want to speak to issues around the disparities that exist regards education in Zimbabwe, where I think there have been a lot of debates around access, and I think you have come through with a concept that has changed. What have been what have you seen really regards the disparities that exist in Zimbabwe?
So I think when I started Law 6, we had to do service projects for 3 weeks. So I was at a primary school called Croyo, and then I was also at St. Joseph's Primary School. And you'd realize that with the new curriculum, it brought about several challenges, including access to general resources, the textbooks and stuff. Because at St. Joseph's, I think they shared one textbook per class. And I think that's when I just started seeing that there are a lot of disparities in our education system, and this particular new curriculum and with in access to resources, it's really a big problem. There needs to be maybe a system where they can subsidize those textbooks and then give them to primary school kids, because I mean this platform is WhatsApp based. It's going to help a lot of kids out there, but of course it's not going to help each and every child across Zimbabwe. And I really believe that there's need for an inclusive approach to our education system, so that each and every child has an equal opportunity to succeed academically, of which that cannot be done when kids out there don't even have access to those textbooks. So I think we should start with the resources and then making sure that each and every child has access to those resources. I'm
loving the fact that we have started, because I think there's still that digital divide, and a lot of young kids do not have access to even smartphones. So there's a bit of a challenge, and there's need for things to be rectified in that regard. But I'm loving that you have started something. A few youngsters of your age actually thinking about what you've done here. Someone comes through here, says, "Hi Glenda, please ask this intelligent boy if he's coming to Wits University or Oxford University in the UK. Our future is bright with young boys and girls like him." This is David Topo. What are the plans?
Okay, so I haven't really done my research as to which university that I want to go to, because I want to take electronics and robotics as a major, but I also want a university that can give me a minor in agri-tech development and also business management. So I'm just going to use those filters and just see which universities are best suited for me.
Interesting. Let me take you back to something that you spoke about earlier. You love music.
Yes, I do.
Doesn't that come in and it's a distraction, or you need that here and there?
I mean, during my free time, I'm always listening to music. I like Zimbabwean hip-hop. I like Nigerian music. Okay, I started liking Nigerian music not so long ago. But then it just gives me those chill vibes. Sometimes when I'm playing basketball, I'm listening to music. Sometimes when I'm studying, I'm listening to music. So I think it's just an integral part of my life. I wouldn't say it's a distraction or anything.
Interesting indeed. Now, Trueman, maybe I would love for you to also give recommendations to key stakeholders that are listening to us right now regards where we're going as a country in as far as the education of our children is concerned. What would you say? What needs to be done? You spoke about the need to be inclusive. What else do we need to do?
I think there needs to also be just that investment in the young people who have ideas, because I'm just one of many. There are a lot of kids out there, there are a lot of children out there who have ideas but are just lacking the exposure. So I think if they can also invest in those young people, because I have a lot of friends who say, we are writing books, we are writing textbooks and stuff like that, and they just lack that exposure. So I think if we have big wigs out there, the key stakeholders, they can just also look into that, just invest in those people that they can help, their own peers and stuff like that, besides the whole resources thing, because I think resources are also critical, but I've already talked about that. But I think that's one of the things that needs to be done too.
I got a cousin at St. George's, and he always tells me that they're doing a lot of things at Crow Hill. What other projects are you embarking on? And why is this so critical for you as a youngster to give back to community?
I'll start with the first one. At Croyo, where we had the service projects, we started a plan to build them a classroom, because I think the classrooms were lacking too. In my class that I was teaching, there were 98 kids in a single class. So we just decided if we build them a block or something, that's going to really help them and go a long way. So I think that's one of the things that we're doing at Crow. And then in terms of just giving back, I think just being in a society where there are a lot of inequalities, I think just, breaks my heart. Like just seeing people suffer, it's something that really, really, really bothers me. So I think it's just my way of, dealing with stuff. I wouldn't rather stay at home, just sit down and say, the country is bad and stuff like that. I'd rather just be hands-on and, find solutions and then try to work on them. Not all of them are going to work, but it's better than just sitting around.
True that, better than sitting around. I'm inspired listening to you talk. I'm inspired. At my age, I'm like, wow. And I'd like to commend you for the work that you're doing. I think for me, St. George's is doing amazing work. And you tell me that you had a chance to to teach at Crow Hill.
Yes.
And you had a chance to engage and understand some of the struggles that other kids. I think for me, it's very critical for kids that are growing up to see both sides of the world, where you also get an opportunity to give back to community. I think that is remarkable, and well done for that.
Thank you so much.
Right. So what can we expect from you in the next coming years? What do we see you doing in the next couple of years?
Well, I think just investing more in community. I mentioned agriculture. It's something that I don't want to work on after university. It's something that I've already begun doing my research and all that, because even before I had this idea, agriculture had just been on my heart and stuff. So I think you expect to see me in the agricultural field a lot, but also just innovating around all the inequalities that are in the world, because we can never really finish all of them. And from this experience, I've just realized I really don't need any coding experience. I just need the ideas, and a lot of people will just be there to help you. So I think you just mean multiple sectors, but I will be out there.
But where do you get the inspiration? Where do you get the motivation? Who inspires you to do what you do?
In honest truth, I think the constant struggle really inspires me. Like, I haven't really been, at St. George's all my life. I've been around. I've seen how people suffer. At some point, I even suffer myself. So I think that struggle has just, prompted me to take action. But also my family has just been behind me all the time, supporting each and everything that I do. So I think they are my biggest motivation. And my brothers are also doing quite a lot in their respective spheres. So I think just being in those kind of environments has just shaped the person that I am, and my passions and what I want to do in the world.
Are any of your brothers into farming?
No, I wouldn't want to copy my brothers.
You want to do your own things,
Exactly.
Set your own pace. You're running your own race.
Yeah.
Absolutely inspired. But maybe as well, for those that are hearing about Dzidzo Paden for the first time, tell them a bit about how they can also get on board and maybe also benefit from this amazing platform that you have just launched.
Definitely. So I think the first thing that I'll say is it's not only for grade 7s, Form 4s and upper 6s. I mean, not everyone has a phone. So to parents who are listening, you could also register on the system and then just help your kids to get the resources. But basically, for a person who wants to access the resources, you save the number 078-706-4484 on WhatsApp, and then you send hi. And then once you send hi, you're going to get a menu where you just register. After registering, you follow the instructions. It will just show you a menu where they're in grade 7, Form 4, upper 6. You just see how, everything goes on there. But in the event that you don't understand, our Facebook page is always online. You just send a message and I'll come back to you.
What's the number once again?
078
706
706 4484.
4484.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And on social media, I know you're on social media. Share with us your social media pages.
On Instagram, I'm just _Trueman. On Facebook, I'm Hama Mabumbo. On Twitter, I'm Mabumbo Trueman.
It has been an absolute pleasure being with you. I'm inspired. I'm just amazed at the way you think. And I know a lot of youngsters that are listening today have been inspired. Continue to do the work that you're doing, and we're looking forward to see you grow bigger and bigger. I mean, the fact that you're thinking this big at this age, when you reach my age, oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
It's been absolutely amazing hanging out with you. But as well, music. Let's get back to it, because we do music as well here.
Yes.
We also engage in great conversations, having people like you in studio inspire other people out there that are listening. But as well, they say all work and no play makes a dull somebody.
Exactly.
So, music. I'm hoping that I have the type of music that you like. But which other artists do you enjoy listening to?
Recently I've been listening to Location by Dave and Burna Boy.
Dave and Burna Boy.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, do I have Dave and Burna Boy? But we'll see. Oh, okay, why that particular song?
I just like the vibe and the beats. Yeah.
Interesting. So I don't know. I think people, when they come to radio, like, and they're your age, like, do you want to say hi to somebody? I don't know. Just do something. Okay, send a message to someone that's listening. Inspire someone today. What would you say?
Okay, I'll just say to the person who's listening, God has a purpose for you. So, I mean, just do your thing. If you have any ideas, if you have something that you want to do in the world, just go for it. Regardless of what people say, just go for it.
Go for it. Thank you so much for spending time with me. It's been absolutely good. I don't have that song from David Burna Boy, but I will play you something from Burna Boy. I don't know if that will work, but I think, this is me trying here. So I will try to play something from Burna Boy and South Shore.
All right.
A song called Time Flies. I'm hoping that...
I like that one.
Yes. I'm not too old, isn't it? If I have Time Flies, I'm still all right. Nice.
Yeah, I like the song. I think it's from the new album.
Yeah. All right, so looking forward to having you on the show another time. I think maybe on the Business Accelerator, one of the fine days where you're talking about some of your business ventures, because I think you're on the right path and you're going places fast.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so I know your brother was supposed to step in with you into the studio. Not sure what happened with him, but say thank you to him for taking you to Capitalk 100.4 FM.
Yeah, I mean, thanks so much, Muto.
All right, so this is Burna Boy and South to Soul. This is Time Flies.
Time flies like a thief in the night. We all got a story to write. So darling, jump in the ride before the train is gone. Let's take a ride. Look in your eyes. Don't make them tag your life. I'm on your side. I said the taxi chaka to my raka to the beat. We gon' get high tonight, baby. We say pass the dirty on the left hand side, oh yeah. Muda una yoyoma, so you never know what tomorrow holds. Siku zazidi kwenda, so don't hold back. Do what you gotta do. Take some love and give it back. Make your money, get that back. I don't know what you're going through. This is your invitation to dance. Salty soul burner boy came through with another one. So come on and give love a chance. Cause you know the party just begun. And we're not getting young, I know. Time flies like a thief in the night. We all got a story to write. So darling, jump in the ride before the train is gone. Let's take a ride. Look in your eyes. Don't make them tag your life. I'm on your side. Enter boss, in the good church. We enter boss, doctor. We enter boss, and we get money. We enter boss, doctor. So walk back on the doctor. So walk back on doctor. Enter boss, in the good church. We enter boss. Siwezi kuacha bomba. Ni mali pala na maudi na mashuba na mavela. Siwezi kuacha bomba. Are we gon' get high tonight, my lady? I'm Mr. Boss for touching, Mr. Boss for touching. Oh yeah. Umba imetamba sana nana.
Oh, well, that's a song that